Welcome to the first class by Alisonia Start Guide. In this class, we want to introduce ourselves to the basic definition of statistics, and not just definition of statistics, not just definition of statistics, but the essential keywords, that should be noted when defining statistics. So this is needed for us to know in order to move on in our statistical journey. And as we said the other time, this class is for almost everyone, regardless of your field. And especially if you are a science student, you need to know even deep about this. You need to know deep about this. So we have to begin with defining statistics. Then, while defining statistics, so we move on to the essential keywords that we need to talk about. So let's continue with that. So as you can see, statistics is just a scientific method or the process of collecting data, organization of the data, analysis, result interpretation, and presentation for understanding a phenomenon under a particular study. Anything about statistics or everything about statistics is just about data. Data, 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 data. Without data, there's nothing to talk about in statistics. What phenomenon do you want to study? Is it the age of a particular student in a class? Or the working rate of employee in a particular organization? And so on and so forth. Before you do that, you have to collect data about that. After collecting the data, when you collect data, it may have no meaningful observation. If you collect, for instance, now, the age of a particular student in a class, you just collect maybe in years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and let's assume we have about maybe 400 students in that particular class. So if you don't organize that data, that data will be meaningless. How do you organize data? We are coming here. After organizing the data, then you go to the analysis. After the analysis, then the result interpretation. Then after you interpret your result, then you have to present your result for your audience. That's what I mean by presentation. So you present your result for your audience, for the audience to understand the phenomenon for which you have studied. And this phenomenon depends on various level on an organization. For instance, now the phenomenon that agricultural students will study is different from the phenomenon that medical students will study, and which is also different from the phenomenon that engineering students will study, and so on and so forth. It depends. So that phenomenon is related for the study you want to undergo. And statistics is just about making inference from samples. We see it from sample to generalize useful information or to generalize insight to a whole population. So that is just about statistics. That is, you select a fractional part of the population, which is a sample. You collect data on that. You organize data on that. Analyze your data. Make the result. Then when you are presenting the information, you generalize the information, the insight you derive from the sample to the whole population. And yes, I've already said that before. It entails drawing actionable insights from meaningless numbers and breathing life into a lifeless data. So now, these keywords that you want to understand, the first one there is data collection. Now, let's talk about data collection. So this study phenomena for which data are to be collected, it can be based on ID subjects of interest to businesses, to government, to each student in the discipline, in various disciplines. And this data can be divided into two. We have quantitative or data that are collected based on numeric number. That's that about that. And we also have another one, which is qualitative, or data that is based on textual information. Example of that quantitative data is we have age, which is in years, we have BMI, we have GDP, number of diseases, maybe count of COVID-19, count of malaria, count of diabetes, and so on and so forth. Then we also have qualitative or textual data. For that, we have sex, which can be age, where sex, we can be in form of male and female. We have color, we all know different category of color. We have race, that is ethnic group, address. These are text. If they are in form of text, we have qualitative data. And if they are in form of numbers, we have quantitative data. It is a section we are going to talk about on its own. Data collection is a chapter on its own. Each essential keywords that we find in this definition of statistics, they are chapter on its own, but we just have to talk about them briefly here. So sources of data collection could be primary or secondary. I can see now we have more detail on it in the next section. Then after you collect your data, you organize your data. So this includes the process of organizing raw data into a visually appealing form. It is time saving. It detects possible errors in the data. And this possible error, when I say possible errors in the data, I mean maybe if there is missing value in the data, if you organize your data, you'll be able to see that missing value. So maybe if outliers are present in your data, we'll talk about it when you get to data organization section, outliers. So if outliers are present in your data as well, so you'll be able to what? You'll be able to see that also. And it is easier to understand. Imagine if you use bar charts or pie charts or line charts or histogram to present your data, it will be easier for you to understand, and it's easier for your audience to what? To grasp that. So we have various methods of organizing data as well. Frequency tables, pictograph, graphs, data visualizations, and this data visualization, we have bar chart, pie chart, line chart, histogram, do not chart, and so on and so forth. When we get to this section, this data organization section, we are going to show these charts and these tables. We are going to show them one by one. So this is just the preliminary introduction into what is coming later in the class. And when you want to organize your data, they are dependent on what form of data are being collected. So the way you are going to organize quantitative data is different from the way you are going to organize qualitative data, categorical data, discrete data, or continuous data as well. So you move on to data analysis. So this involves analyzing the collected data to discern pattern of trend. Before I move on to this data analysis, before I move on to this data analysis, I want to ask if you guys are following me and if you understand what I talk about. Can anyone volunteer to talk?
We are following.
Am I too fast?
I think it's okay.
So please kindly talk if I'm too fast so that I can come down to our level. Anyone, am I too fast? Am I too fast? Okay, since I'm not too fast, so we can.
Okay,
we are good. We are good.
Okay. So that means we can continue. So for this data analysis, that's another essential keywords we find in the definition of statistics. So this one involves analyzing the collected data to detect trend or pattern that we want the data to show. Yeah, this is the most, I won't say that it's the most crucial part, but this is one of the important essential keywords in statistics. It is where you determine the kind of statistical test or model to be used in analyzing your data. And these statistical tests or model, they are heavily dependent on the type of data types. When we get to data collection, we are going to talk about data types. Is it quantitative data that you want to analyze, or is it qualitative data that you want to analyze? Is it discrete or continuous? What kind of analysis do you even want to perform? Is it associational analysis or descriptive analysis or comparison analysis? This is where you are going to this is where you are going to determine your statistical test to use. If this is wrong, then the other part of the analysis, maybe the result interpretation and presentation, will also be wrong. And here we have to be very, very careful. Like I said the other time, there are a lot of posts online, especially on LinkedIn, that tells you to learn data analysis in 3 months, to learn data analysis in 2 months, and to after that, after learning it in 2 months or 3 months, then you can use that to get a high-paying job. A high-paying job. Wow, is that so easy? And this post will even tell you to learn statistics in 3 days. 3 days? How is that possible? When they talk about data analysis, they are talking about statistics. They are talking about what? About statistics. And for you to delve into any data analysis, to delve into any tools, you have to know the statistics. I have a student in this class from Kenya. So she used to chat me that she wanted to learn, she only wants to learn Stata. Am I going to host class on Stata and all that? I stopped replying him. I stopped replying her, not because I don't want to reply her, but even if you want to learn Stata, or you want to learn Excel, or you want to learn SPSS, or you want to learn R for data analysis, or you want to learn Python for data analysis, there are a lot of softwares to use. Those are just tools. What do you want to use those tools for? Learn statistics. The regression, if you run regression in Excel, the result you are going to get will be the same as the result if you run the regression in SPSS. It is the same result if you run in R, Python, and so on and so forth. Although those tools, based on their requirements, they are powerful, but they are just useless. Those tools are useless, they are meaningless if you don't know what you want to use them for. And what do you want to use them for? Learn statistics. Learn statistics. Which part of statistics? Data analysis. This slide I'm showing you now. So data analysis method is just two: descriptive statistics and efficient statistics. Mind you, I told you this class is just basic applied statistics. For we statistician, we have a lot of methods. A statistician that is in this class, we know that. We have a lot of methods. But for the basic and applied statistics to be applicable in all fields, whether you are a big student or political science student or medical students or several fields, these are what you need. These are what you need. And they are not difficult. They are very simple. The way we are going to take in this class, it is the simplest and the most simplest class we will ever attend. Because there's going to be a follow-up and there's always going to be a way to check if you understand this class later. So descriptive statistics and efficient statistics. For descriptive statistics is just what you know, the main popularly known as X bar, the median, standard deviation, the range, the interquartile range, the quartile range, the mean deviation, and so on and so forth. But the most popular one, the most useful one that we all know of, maybe that that are being used in the organization and in those fields that are not related to statistics or in those non-STEM fields, just mean, median, standard deviation, and range. So although this can be categorized into two: measure of central tendency and measure of dispersion. Data analysis is a section on its own, and we are going to talk about it later. This is just preliminary introduction. So after that, we have inferential statistics. In this inferential statistics, we have different methods as well. We have like t-test, ANOVA, regression, correlation. When I say t-test, there are a lot of things embedded in that. Am I talking about independent sample t-test, or one sample t-test, or dependent paired sample test. When we get to this section, we are going to talk about it. And how am I going to know which method to use, which statistical test or model to use? Is it t-test, ANOVA, regression, correlation, stepwise regression, MANOVA, which is multivariate analysis of variance, ANCOVA, which is analysis of covariance, and so on and so forth. We are going to talk about that later as well. So this is just essential keywords that we first need to know before we proceed. So let's continue. So after data analysis, what we have left is it's not really difficult again. It's just interpretation of results. This is simplest, although it can be simple. It is also one of the most crucial parts of statistical analysis, because if your analysis is wrong, if your accuracy of the data analysis is wrong, then what you are going to be interpreting will be wrong as well. And the insight you are going to be deriving from the analysis will also be wrong. That is why result interpretation is a crucial part of statistical analysis, because it can either make or mar business operation. If you are using it for business operation, like those HR, or patient diagnosis. Imagine interpreting error from your data, and that data you want to use it on what? Is the data you collected from what? From patient. Do you understand? So it can either make or map business operation, patient diagnosis, and even government effectiveness. Even government effectiveness. Most of the countries that are not doing better is because they don't make use of data. And even if they make use of data, is because they do not have the capacity required to make accurate analysis from the data. And that will heavily affect their functionality. That will heavily affect their functionality. So you can say that analysts spend a lot of time from collection of ID data to the analysis of data before conclusion. Yes. When you collect data, you have to clean the data. You have to check if there are missing values. How do you fill the missing values? There are a lot of ways to do that. Maybe we'll talk about that later. You have to check if the data are relevant. If they are not relevant, you delete them. You have to check if there are outliers. So you spend a lot of time in cleaning the data. After cleaning the data, then you move on to what? To the analysis. To organizing the data, to the analysis. After the analysis, then you interpret your results. So while cleaning the data, performing the analysis, and doing a lot of things like that, so a lot of time is being spent there. A lot of time are being spent there from the collection of the ID data to the analysis before you now make conclusion of your results. And when interpreting the results, who are you interpreting the results for? Who are you interpreting the results for? That is where presentation of results comes in. After you interpret your result, then you present your result to your useful audience. You present your result to your useful audience. This can be different based on the goal of your analysis or the objectives of your analysis. Maybe you might be analysis for business board of directors, like we Earth Analytics, that the Earth Analytics in Earth organization, or maybe we are doing employee analytics for HR of a particular organization. You present your results for them. Maybe it is airline analytics. Maybe it is Netflix, so on and so forth. Or maybe your own target audience is government, or maybe your own target audience is what? Medical boss, medical board of directors. So presentation of finding deal with presenting the outcome to the concerned audience, such as those I mentioned just now. So those are the keywords you find in these statistics. To summarize it all, this is what we talk about. We define different 5 keywords This data collection, say that one can be bifurcated into two: quantitative or numeric data, which is age, BMI, GDP, so on and so forth. And that age in quotes is in years. If you have age in interval, like maybe what is your age, put this interval, click this interval, like most what we mostly have on questionnaire, like maybe age range 18 to 24, 25 to 30, and so on and so forth. In that sense, we won't categorize age as quantitative again. We categorize this as what? As qualitative. But in this sense, if age is in years, we are going to categorize it as what? Quantitative. And for the qualitative part, we have sex, male and female, we have race, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, ethnic groups, so on and so forth. Then we have colors like maybe yellow, green, all those ones, they are textual information. And if they are textual information, they are qualitative data. Then we talk about data organization as well. So that one, we use frequency table, pictogram graph, and graphical illustration. So that graphical illustration is what is popularly known as data visualization. Then we talk about data analysis, can be divided into descriptive analysis and division statistics. We have that mean, median, and standard deviation for descriptive statistics, and t-test, ANOVA regression for inferential statistics. We talk about the source interpretation and presentation of findings. So that's all about the class that we have today. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I would like to welcome question from you. After that, I would also like to welcome suggestion, how we can improve this class, because I really want you to know this better. You understand? And I would like that from you as well. So like I told you the other time, it is an interactive class, and I could see now that it's just only 9 participants that are present out of 20, out of 21 in the group. So I have to see what to do about that next. So questions in the next 5 minutes.
Good morning, sir.
Mommy, please introduce yourself before you make a ask
My name
question.
is what?
Your name is?
Hello, Monsoro.
Okay.
From Ibadan, Oyo State.
Are you from Nigeria or Kenya or Tanzania?
I'm from Oyo State, Ibadan, Nigeria.
Okay, question please.
I want to know, are we permitted to screen record your screen, your presentation? Are we permitted to record it?
Yes, you are permitted to record it. You know, even though I'm also making it, I'm also recording it, so I will send it. I will send it
All
to
right.
you. Yeah, so it will be hosted on YouTube so that it will be for reference later.
Thank you for the wonderful.
Any question, please? Thank you.
No question.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kibibi.
My name is Kibibi from Kenya. My request is that, is it possible you send us the recordings not through YouTube, because sometimes you have channel with the bundles, we cannot access YouTube. So you just send us as a there's another kind of where we just click on it and we get the recording. Not necessarily we go to YouTube.
Okay, because you want to have it on your local computer?
Yes, because if you direct us to YouTube, sometimes you're forced to have bundles so that we can use the YouTube, and sometimes we don't have bundles to access YouTube. So you just want a direct click where we just click and get the recordings.
This is what I'm going to do. I can put that on my Google Drive and send it to you. I'll see to it.
Thank you.
Do you have any question regarding the class?
The class was good. Thank you so much. I'm gaining some new things which I didn't know. In fact, I wanted it's just that you say that you are going to send us the audio. I wanted to get the summary of the last slide. I was even telling you not to remove the slide, but only that you say that you're going to share with us, so I'm good. Otherwise, I really appreciate you, and I'll be with you throughout the classes. Thank you.
All right. So I'm still expecting question from any other person as well. So let me see the participants and ask them myself. These will ask question. Ali Uraji, you don't have any question? George,
I have a question, please.
okay.
Is the inferential analysis limited to those three?
No, they are not limited to those three. There are a lot of them. You know, I told you the other time that data analysis is just a section on its own. Here, we are just talking about the essential keywords in the definition of statistics that we need to understand before we proceed. You know, I just don't want to budge into data analysis section without knowing what we should know as beforehand. So when we get to the data analysis section, we are going to trace those points. So they are not limited to those three. They are not meeting. If you listen attentively in the class, you realize I made mention of Vancouver, I made mention of Vancouver. Even regression itself, we have a lot of method under regression, but we still call them regression. We have structural equation modeling, so on. We have structural equation modeling, so that's it.
So tomorrow you're meeting same time, is it?
Yes, tomorrow we are meeting same time. So tomorrow we are going to talk about data collection as a section on its own. We are going
Okay,
to
thank
talk
you.
about data collection as a section on its own. So, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you for putting up this class, Mr.
Okay.
Mr. So I actually basically
Mr. What? Mr. What?
Ali,
Okay.
I'm referring to you.
Okay. I wanted to check
yeah.
maybe you get to the name or not. So share my name.
Okay. Actually, I want to appreciate you for putting up this class. Basically, I don't have question because I believe it's an introductory class. So, and every details was well, read out for us. So I believe with time, so you'll be expecting more and more questions from us as we progress in the classes in days to come.
Yes.
So thank you very much for the classes.
So, Mr. Toyib Olaiwola, you didn't say anything, no suggestion from you, no question from you. You are just observing. Kindly say something. Mr. Toyib Olaiwola. Are you there? I know you are there. I can see. So, in this access of question, I think we can call it a day then.
Yes, I am, sir. I am.
Okay, do you have any question or anything you want to say?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello? Who's talking? So there's no question. You can call it today. So we have access to the recording later. We work on it. I put it on Google Drive. I also put it on YouTube for those that want to watch. So thank you for attending the class. We meet by tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Bye, Saum Makbul.
Someone
Say
say
that
someone.
again, please.
What do you say?
Saum Makbul.
Don't understand that language.
I thought you're fasting.
Yes. So,
So how do you wish someone who is fasting in Nigeria?
okay, just say Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak. To us in Kenya, we say Saum. Saum is just Ramadan Mubarak as well. So
Okay.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Okay, maybe I will learn Kenyan from you.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.